Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to another Flex's View. Day after the game against Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park yesterday, 0-0. And I had to talk about the fallout from the game and some of the biggest talking points from it. And really, I say some of the biggest talking points. I'm going to say one of the biggest polarizing topics in the fan base as well. Bruno Fernandes, the captain, our most important player, one of our highest paid players, been a fantastic servant to the club, the main guy. It's time to talk. It's time to talk. Bruno, I wanted to let you guys know my feelings on it. I know that tomorrow on the red carpet, it's going to be massive because, rightly so, Saeed's going to come and say, I told you about this guy. We're better without him. And I've seen you guys in the comments alluding to it already. Flex, you belittled him. Owen, you belittled him. You didn't take his opinion on board, or at the very most, I wouldn't say I didn't agree. But with the performances that Bruno Fernandes is putting in, he's not beating the allegations right now. Since he signed the new deal, he hasn't been good enough. I know Bradley as well. When I speak to Bradley, he's sort of saying the same thing as well, and has been for a while. So there's a lot of opinion on Bruno, and I've been there as one of his biggest defenders, and I'm not going to turn on him now and say he should be kicked out and this, that, and the other. But I think we should just bring this into like form straight away. I'll start with that. I'm not scared to talk about the whole thing. I'm not going to be biased and stuff like that. I'll call it as I see it now and what is best for the team. I ain't got no player FC. I don't need it to be a specific guy or a specific player who's playing every single game without a doubt because he's the captain or because of this, that, and the other. I want the players playing who deserve to play, and I want the players playing who deserve to be performing, and who are performing, should I say, the best man for the job. So let's just talk about the actual form of Bruno, about what he's doing, and in specific yesterday. It's no secret. Should have been off the pitch. Should have been hooked. You know, we saw Eric Ten Hag actually take him off against Brighton and bring on Scott McTominay, which didn't work, and we all questioned why he did it, because it didn't work. Now, Scott McTominay would have got a goal against Brighton and we won the game. We all would have said fantastic sub. But also in that game, he took off Rashford, and we started to see Eric Ten Hag say, well, if you're not performing, I'm not scared to change it. Yesterday was the game when Bruno absolutely should have got taken off and didn't. So now we're scratching our heads saying, well, the manager's not being consistent in when he's taking him out the firing line versus when he's not. And I know Saeed alluded to it. He said favourites FC. The manager's playing his favourites. And when you make decisions like you make yesterday to keep Bruno on the pitch and he doesn't come up with the goal or assist or do the Bruno-esque, impact on the game, even though he's dropped a stinker, this is what's going to happen. Now, in my opinion, Bruno, at the moment, when you look at Eriksen and you look at what Xerxes doing, Bruno needs some time out. Let's be real. I'll be honest. I'm not against Bruno not starting the next couple of games or the next game or so and try something different. Now, I always say Bruno is our best creator. Bruno is, statistically the best creator we have. But I did say quite a few years ago, me and Marcel used to kind of argue about this. I said if Bruno's goals and assists dry up, and I know that's a big thing to say if the main thing about the player dries up. I'm not a big fan of that. But if you're talking about Bruno, you have to talk about that. If his goals and assists dry up, how does he help the team? What does he do? Let's talk about that. And the answer is that, well, he can have a negative effect on the team when he's playing in that manner and it doesn't work, i.e. doesn't find the pass or doesn't find the back of the net, or isn't the pass before the goal. And he hurts the team. When you're trying to build up and he's flippantly giving the ball away, nonchalantly losing possession, throwing the ball away, let's say like a grenade, he's not beating the charges. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not seeing it. I saw it yesterday. I've seen it in games previous, loads of games. The thing that bails Bruno out, and the reason why a lot of the time you can't talk to him, which I agree with, is that he usually delivers. When it's all said and done, the numbers are there. But it is a legitimate conversation to say, is the team better though? Would the team be better in the long run if he didn't play as much in that situation? Or definitely when he's not doing it, which is more my gripe. My gripe is less, just get Bruno out, sell him, fuck him off. My gripe is actually, if he's not If he's not doing it in the moment, in the phase of games that we've got, just don't start him, or don't be afraid to take him off. Like, yes, he's the captain, and he's been a good player for us. Absolutely, I love Bruno. But let's not be afraid to call out bad form. Let's just keep the energy consistent across the board. Marcus Rashford, we've been screaming to basically be out of the starting lineup. Then he starts turning it around, then we want him to be in the starting lineup. Then when he wasn't on it yesterday, we were like, okay, well, you know, that's a bit of a surprise. But actually, Garnacho's doing really well. And he did have a good game, Garnacho. He did everything but score. He was unlucky not to score. And there was a lot of positives in yesterday's performance. And I think Eric will look at it like Bruno was part of it, because in the first half we were fine, and Bruno wasn't as bad in the first half as he was in the second half, but he still wasn't good in the first half as well, and it went from bad to worse. But Eriksen's doing completely fine there. He helps the team play well. He helps the team keep the ball. Xerxes, with the way he's connecting the dots and what he's doing just off the front with runners in behind him, that's working too. So if you're looking at it from a performance standpoint, not the name on the back of the shirt, not the status within the club, i.e. the captain, performance related, he deserves to have some time on the bench. There's nothing wrong with Bruno having to sit out a few games. The problem is that he persists with him all the time, no matter how bad he's playing. And it has been the same until recently with Marcus Rashford as well. And then Eric started showing a few cracks there. So again, listen, it could all click into gear very, very quickly. We, you know, making this video right now, we play against FC20. Bruno could have a stormer. Then it's Spurs at home. Bruno could have a stormer and play really well. And then again, what we'll be saying is, well, Ten Hag keeps persisting with him. But this isn't something we haven't seen before. And the irony is that Bruno signed a new deal, a brand new contract. And now we're looking at it going, boy, since then he hasn't been good. And actually, he's hurting the team. In the moments where we're flipping trying to build up attacks in the back end of the game yesterday, or when the game was getting away from us and he's just giving the ball away constantly, that is hurting the team. And the manager should be able to see that and have the bollocks to take him off. That I stand by. Now, it's going to be a big discussion, a big conversation. There could be a lot of you guys right now probably saying, we said this to you, Flex, that Bruno's got to go. Some of you, again, because it's polarizing. This is what happens. Not everyone's going to agree, which is fine. Some of you guys are going to say, Flex, you're just checking, like, why just stick by Bruno? He's our best player. Don't let them infiltrate you, this, that, and the other. And the truth is, it's all okay. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. All I do is call it out as I see it and go on what I think should happen long term. I'm not afraid for anyone to leave this football club. I make it very, very clear. I'm not afraid for any player to leave this football club. Of course, I want to build the future around Kobe. Of course, Garnacho looks like he's, you know, starting to do really well and grow. But, you know, no one player is bigger than the football club. I'm not scared to lose Bruno Fernandes. If Dan Ashworth and Ineos and co decide that that's the best way to move forward, to move him on, which, by the way, you just invested heavily into him, so that it needs to work now, backed himself into a bit of a corner. But if they decided that, then I wouldn't have cared. Was I back in the fact that he got a contract extension? Yes, he's still a fantastic player. I just think right now Bruno's in really bad form. And my gripe is, if he's in really bad form, take him out like any other player. That's what we've got to make at Manchester United. Healthy competition and healthy decisions being made with no favourites. I do agree with that. I'm not going to change my opinion on Bruno to be like, he's crap, we have to sell him now. I know that's what a lot of people do think, and that's what we got to talk about. I think the best version of Bruno is still a very, very good player and still can be. But right now, he's not at his best. And actually, he's at one of his worst. He's hurting the team in this current period. Eriksen deserves to play over him in the 10. Xerxes deserves to play over him in that area. Even Mason Mount coming back into it. When Mason Mount was in the 10, I know we can get into the injuries and this, that, and the other, but when he was in the 10, actually, let's be real. Look what he was doing in terms of the pressing and winning the ball back and helping the team play in the right way. There's a common theme. These guys might not get the goals and assists that Bruno gets, but they do help the team play better. They help the team keep the ball better. They help the team move the ball better, retain possession better, have more control in games. That I can get behind. Then bring Bruno off the bench if we need to, or start him in the next couple of games after that. But Erik ten Hag needs to come away from just hanging his hat on players and having favourites where that he won't even take them off. Because we could all see yesterday that Bruno needed to leave the pitch. You can't always rest on a moment of brilliance from Bruno, because when it don't come, this is what happens. This is what happens. So that's my say. Tune into the red carpet tomorrow. It's going to be spicy. Adam's going to have his say. I've seen that already. Saeed definitely. KG's going to have his say on this as well. You guys are going to have your say. So tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a massive one. Let me know how you feel about it now. Let me know about what you think about what my take is, and let me know what your take is. I want to know. Let me know. I'll see you in the next video very, very soon, guys. I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.